7 seconds. That's precisely a resume would be looked by the recruiters. 75% of the people, when they submit the resume, is looked by an ATS system and is screened out. Which means only a very few resume goes further, and before interacting with human, your resume interacts with a robot. One out of 250 applications which you sent will convert into one job offer, which means sending a hi, hello, hi to around 250 people and only one responding. That's how brutal the job odds are for a job, right? And there is a high chance that none of you get a job through the job portal because 80% of the resumes are quietly, opportunities are quietly filled through referrals and networks. More than 50% of the people do not hear back from their respective HRs or companies. And still, we see billions of resumes flying around the planet Earth like a paper plane, each carrying a dream, each carrying a story, trying to get a land at the right inbox. If you stack all these resumes one over another, you can build a bridge to the moon and back, and still save entire set for the entire century to write a question paper or exam paper. So essentially, where our resume, stand out, how to make it stand out. And by the way, Gen AI has leveled the playing field. Anybody can now write a resume, anybody can write a good cover letter, anybody can match the JD with the keyword. So essentially, your leverage is gone. So what should we do? How should we make our resume stand out? What should we do differently? This question haunted me for years until I flipped the lens. I realized that your resume is just an entry ticket. The real thing is the work or the legacy which you leave, the trust you treasure or the credibility you carry or the endorsements you earn. Those are the real things. And those will take you to the next level. So how to make this so-called thing tangible, right? So that it's not based on paper, but based on people. It is not based on claims, but on actual proofs. So what I'm talking about here is something called reputation wallet. Take this thought experiment. Consider all of you, consider yourself for a product for a moment. Every interaction with you is a transaction. So for example, if you've helped your friends overnight to submit an assignment, plus 300. If you are snatched somebody else's credit, minus 400. If you have stood for something what is right, even if it is unpopular, plus 500. So every transaction you make is a deposit. Every good deed you do is a deposit. And every broken promises is a withdrawal. Think of it like a GitHub doing a code quality check or a Stack Overflow checking the quality of the submissions. Why not track human reliability? Think of it as a Bitcoin crypto stacking, where your proof of trust builds over time, compounds, and ultimately gives you value you have never thought before. Looks to be a nice idea. But ideas are spark. They ignite creativity and they fade without action. So a lot of people in the room will agree to what I said. They will note in agreement, they will go home, and then they will forget about it. So how to bring that idea into action is by defining what you want to achieve, translating those into real-time actionable goals, and repeating them over and over and over again until they become your signature. So similarly, in order to make this reputation wallet concept a reality, I would like to present All right. I would like to present the deposit framework, DEPOSIT. So define your reputational goal. That's the first thing. what you want to be known for. Spend a minute right now, think what you want to be known for. For me, it is essentially I want to be known for as somebody who can really execute well at scale, take the extreme ownership and get things done. For a finance guy, it may mean being a trusted advisor. For a sales guy, it may mean something else. So define your top 1, 2, and max 3 priorities, what you want your reputation to be. Write them down, read them every day, and you will start seeing them appearing to life soon. E, execute. Okay, so try to do the small executions each day. I was doing an elevator ride with one of my seniors, 16 floors, no conversation. And when the door opened, the person told me, Rahul, I don't know what you do, but I know that you care and you deliver. So that's your reputation. So try to execute small wins. For you, it may be attending a TEDx event, being part of some seminars, being part of completing your assignments on time, helping your colleagues, helping your friends. Essentially, try to execute and try to start showing up small, but each day. And once you are able to execute these small wins, slowly you will see success coming to you. क्योंकि खुद पे हो भरोसा, तो किस्मत रूठा नहीं करती, और जीतना भी एक आदत छूटा नहीं करती. Prove your value publicly. जो दिखता है वही बिकता है, right? So essentially, what you have to do, in one of my projects, one of my colleagues told me, Rahul, if you are an investment stock, I would have invested all my money onto you. He was not betting, he was not telling about my skills or talents. He was betting on my ability to be trustworthy. So essentially, what you want to be known for, try to prove that publicly. And how can you do that? This is one of the platforms. Podcasting can be another. Blogging can be another. Writing a book can be another. Publishing a research paper can be another. Patenting can be another. So there are multiple ways you can start proving your abilities. There is a thought which says that अगर जिगर में जुनून और हौसलों में दम है, तो फिर आप कहाँ टाटा बिरला बच्चन से कम है. Own and learn from mistakes. Acknowledging the mistake is an art, and learning from it is a science. Mark Zuckerberg failed miserably in Harvard when he was doing face mesh, which was using photographs without the consent. He apologized, closed face mesh, improved and learned, and then ultimately made Facebook. So try to be humble, because people who are not humble will always fumble, and then their life will become jumble. Strengthen relationships. You might have seen a bamboo tree, right? When you plant the seed of a bamboo tree and start watering it, nothing happens. You water it for 6 months, nothing happens. Another 1 year, nothing happens. 2 years, 2.5 years, nothing remarkably is grown, above the soil. Suddenly you see a small plant, but again, nothing happens. You keep watering 3rd year, 4th year, and then something magical happens in the 5th year. The bamboo tree grows 80 feet tall. Yes, what it was trying to do was strengthen its relationship with the soil, with the roots beneath. Exactly the way the networking works that way, that you have to give it time to reap the benefits. Initiate opportunities to contribute. I am a strong believer of the fact that if you don't ask, the answer is no. So try to reach out, try to find meaningful connections. One of the friend I know, he wanted to get a job into web designing, and he was not getting enough opportunities. What he did, he figured out top 3 companies where he wanted to be part of, analyzed their website, figured out the gaps, and recreated those pages and the versions. And suddenly he landed up a job. So rather than waiting to be asked, start now. And last but not least, track your deposits. Okay? If you can measure it, you can improve upon it. So it's very important to track your deposit. What kind of things you did in your life work really well? Where did you got the appreciation? Where it was not that great? What you can do more? What you can do less? If you're able to track your deposits, you can definitely make it better. So essentially, one day when you are hitting up a job or trying to get a partnership or a business deal or just a reference check, they will ask, can we trust this guy? your resumes won't speak, your degrees won't answer. However, your reputation will. Because the biggest person in the room, or the richest person in the room, is not with the biggest bank balance, it's the one who is having the best reputation. So try to build your reputation starting now. Okay? And with on that thought, I would want to say कि कुछ भी कर गुजरने का कोई मुहूर्त नहीं होता. जो दिल से चाहते हो तुम वो हासिल हो ही जाता है कि कुछ भी कर गुजरने का कोई मुहूर्त नहीं होता. So start now. Thank you.